Hello friends, Running Kimono here. So if you're not a really big news watcher, and hey, I get it, seems like everything on the news isn't good lately. Um, we're going to talk today about a news story that I saw: 21 Walgreens stores that are closing, and I have subscribers both coasts of the US, and a lot of you have been telling me about store closures. So we're just going to address that, and I'm going to share the list of the 21 stores that I know that are closing. But before we dive into this, if you are into crafting and sewing, 500 Joann stores are to be closing their doors. I think 300 are going to be remaining open, and it's throughout the US and it's part of their bankruptcy. I really recommend that you go to a trusted news site that you like to read up on this. Because I'm not just going to throw up a story and read it line for line. But yeah, if you were really into sewing, I think this is just a sign of the times. A lot of these stores have been really struggling, with the exception, I mean, have you ever heard of a Hobby Lobby closing? But the Joanns are not doing so well. And is it easier just to get your crafting stuff online, shipped to your house? I don't know. I don't know what the full story of this is. But yet, a lot of us shop over at Walgreens, so we're going to dive right into this. The list of stores started leaking a couple days back. So this is from last October. The news of the 1,200 underperforming stores in the U.S. They wanted to do this over a couple years, so it wasn't just going to be one day they're closing all the stores. I'm sure they're having some sort of audit, and perhaps an area with a large amount of Walgreens, that's what they're closing, are the stores that are underperforming. If you have, like, five in a very small radius. And if you look at San Francisco and Chicago, those two areas, that's, I think, what they're doing precisely. So it's not going to be, if you live in a small town and that's the only place people get their prescriptions, that's not what's closing. So this is the list, and the closures are like starting next week on the 17th, the 24th, the 19th, and the 27th in San Francisco. USA Today had this list curated if you want to go over to their site. And it's, again, Augusta, Georgia, Chicago, Oakland, California, Rockford, Illinois, and San Francisco. So really two key areas. And I counted about 21 altogether for this first round. And because there is, this isn't like 300 stores that are closing. So typically, what they do with this inventory is it's going to get shipped to a more performing store, or it will get divided amongst other stores, that are performing really well. So they have the inventory. They're not going to go 90 on what's remaining. And that's what I've heard and seen from Walgreens stores that have closed. Now, what I recommend, if this really affects you, in your area and you love to frequent this one store, is you have to learn a second store, especially if you're an extreme couponer. You have to be versed at least two stores, and I would really recommend, if you have a Dollar General near you, to start shopping there. And even though they've kind of changed things a little bit with their system, with the penny shopping and clearance event, you can still find a whole lot of stuff on the cheap, especially when their stuff goes 90%. It's a great store. I went through all of this last fall with the Rite Aids closing. There's no more of these brag halls of saying, look at all this stuff I get for free, because we don't have Rite Aids anymore here in either Ohio or Michigan, and it's just what they did for their restructuring to try to save the company. And the first thing that I noticed that was a really telling sign was in the coolers. Certain companies like Pepsi, they weren't stocking the drinks anymore. P&G stopped having deals with them as well. So that was the telltale sign. And I had asked a couple different managers, like, where's all the P&G deals? Like, spend 50, get back 10, or whatever it might be. And I remember many of the managers were exceptionally coy with me, and they're like, well, the store just needs to find a new buyer and everything will be back up to normal. And the stock started dwindling like crazy as well at the store. So when they start pulling away certain deals and certain, like, really popular drinks weren't in the store, I knew something was up. Do I miss the store? Of course I miss the store. But it's the way that it is, and sometimes you just can't predict it. All of these stories basically say that an upswing of Amazon, Walmart.com, easy, convenient places for people to buy stuff, that's what they're going it, instead of going into a brick and mortar. So that's it. I just wanted to share the list. I know a lot of you wanted it, and we will catch you in the next one. In the comments down below, let me know your thoughts, and we'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.